Take a moment to ensure your environment is calm. The historical and physiological data we are about to review is intense and requires a regulated nervous system to process effectively. For 5,000 years, civilizations have targeted the Jewish people with a specific, recurring intensity. Looking past the individual excuses provided by these regimes reveals something more than simple prejudice. It reveals a clinical pathology that recalibrates its language for every new era. Forensic analysis of these historical cycles suggests a deeper motive. Each empire, from antiquity to the modern day, appears to be attempting to extract an intellectual and biological essence that doesn't belong to them, a garment of resilience that they cannot replicate. We see the earliest mutation in Ptolemaic Egypt. Writers such as Manetho faced a national shame regarding the Exodus narrative, so they inverted it. In their version, the Jews were an expelled population of diseased people. This established historical revisionism as a primary tool for state vilification. In the ancient Near East, the Amalekites introduced a different typology. They launched unprovoked attacks with no clear geopolitical or economic goal. This established a precedent of ontological enmity, hatred as a primary motivation rather than a strategic means to an end. Following the Bar Kokhba revolt in 135 CE, Emperor Hadrian renamed the province to Provincia Syria Palestina. This was a calculated nomenclatural strategy designed to sever the historical connection to the land and erase the population's identity from the administrative record. In the 20th century, Nazi Germany stripped away theological and economic pretexts to focus entirely on biology. They categorized an entire people as an immutable parasitic race, institutionalizing racial determinism as a justification for systematic industrial murder. This evolution continues today through state-sponsored Holocaust denial in regimes like the Islamic Republic of Iran. By denying historical trauma while simultaneously deploying anti-colonial language, they attempt to delegitimize a people's right to exist. From the revisionism of ancient Egypt to the statistical surges in violence we see post-October 7th, the pattern is consistent. The costumes and justifications change, but the core compulsion to seize a resilience they cannot wear remains the same. This resilience began with Jacob. Driven by an imperative for survival, he compensated for a lack of physical athleticism with a scientific and inquisitive mind, obsessively observing the world around him. After suffering a hip injury, Jacob observed similar limping patterns in his herds. He dissected the animals, eventually identifying a shared anatomical cause, the sciatic nerve. Jacob faced a unique challenge. He had identified a precise medical truth, but lacked the formal anatomical terminology of a modern laboratory to pass it down. To preserve this knowledge, he embedded it in daily life. By strictly forbidding the consumption of the sciatic nerve, declaring it not kosher, he created a protocol to trigger a child's natural curiosity. This forced every generation to ask why, eventually leading them to map the anatomical reality for themselves. Over 5,000 years of forced migration, these communities were exposed to an unparalleled range of global diseases and environments. Their biological vessels were forced to adapt, absorbing trauma and converting it into a heightened state of physiological awareness. This communication happens through the gut-brain axis, a high-speed internal network coordinating 37 trillion cells, converting trauma into resilience. The vagus nerve is the master conductor, a biological brake pedal that neutralizes panic, maintaining clarity in chaos. When we talk about the garment that others try to steal, we are talking about this hardware, a deeply ingrained biological and evolutionary architecture that has been tested for millennia. Today, we see geopolitical actors and extremists who hallucinate themselves as grand architects of this story. They attempt a form of biological copyright infringement, claiming mastery over a narrative they never wrote. It's easy to get lost in these conflicts and forget the miracle of your own machinery. We wake up and complain about the rain or the traffic, entirely unaware of the complexity keeping us upright. Before you even had a name, you won a race against 40 million other candidates. Statistically, your existence is an impossibility, but the universe placed a bet on your specific genetic arrangement, and it delivered. Your body is the exact physical address your soul chose to inhabit. It isn't a liability or a problem to be solved. It is the miraculous vessel that allows you to experience the world. This is why gratitude is a physiological necessity. Genuine appreciation triggers the specific hormonal cascade that keeps your immune system functional and your vagus nerve regulated. Gratitude is structural. You're the result of an unbroken chain of survivors who outran things that should have killed them. Your existence isn't luck. It's the architecture of 37 trillion cells firing in silence, keeping you alive. Right now, your machinery is holding together. You're taking a breath that you didn't have to consciously ask for. Your soul is confirming it is still in the game. We have to move past the petty infighting and the need to prove intellectual dominance. Those are distractions from the actual work of being alive. By focusing on unity and individual well-being, we reach a state of simcha, or joy. In scientific terms, this is when the body reaches a balanced internal state, where every system operates without friction. You are the miracle that forgot it was a miracle. Your improbable life, with all its history and trauma, actively wants to continue. Every morning you open your eyes, the machinery holds and the soul stays. Every breath is a quiet manifestation of the impossible. Our only responsibility is to recognize it.